Parliament and MPs have been pushing to have what they call a meaningful vote. So what they're saying is they don't want to just be here rubber stamping a deal that's already been signed off by Theresa May in the European Parliament. They want the ability, if they don't like it, to send her back to the negotiating table. So when David Jones, the minister, first got up, he made it sound like a very significant concession. The Labour front bench actually welcomed it as such. But since then, on more questioning of the minister, I think MPs aren't quite so happy. Let's discuss it a bit more with Labour's Chuka Umunna, who joins me now. What do you make of it? What do you make of this? Is it a concession?
I'm not encouraged by what we've just heard. I've just dashed over here to speak to you from the chamber. There are three problems with what your viewers will have just seen in the exchanges between the minister and other members of Parliament. And I should say the concerns about this have been brought up not just by Labour members, but well-known Conservatives like Kenneth Clarke, the former Chancellor. First of all, we want government to come to Parliament and consult Parliament before a final deal is reached. Now, obviously, there are different ways you can do that. You can wait till you've almost got a fait accompli, which is completely sorted, and then present it to Parliament, and Parliament is left with no time to object or to perhaps send the government back to think again. I'll come back to that. Or when heads of terms, if you like, the principal points of a deal with our European partners have been reached, at that point you come to Parliament before you finally conclude it. And I think, in respect to what I've just said there, come to Parliament before it's finally concluded is not what we have just heard there, which is what we want. The second thing is in terms of Parliament having the opportunity to send the government back to the negotiation table if we don't like the deal that they have come to Britain with, because it's unacceptable. And of course the big hole in this is if the government decides to do no deal, we don't get a say on that. And just to put it into context for your viewers, if we didn't do a trade deal with the European Union, with whom we can trade at the moment tariff-free, it would mean that we would trade with them on what are called World Trade Organization rules, which govern that kind of situation. And to put it into context, what that means for our businesses, for our cars, you're looking at 10% tariff on top of the cost of a car, which is not there now. You're looking at more than 10% on your clothes. For some of our agriculture, our farmers, you're looking at up to 40% on some meats. Now, that is a decision not to do a deal and to go on to trading with our EU partners on those rules. That is not acceptable to be just left to government with us being a spectator.
You think Parliament should have a say on that? Now, what David Jones said, actually, that the vote would be about our future relationship with the European Union as well as the withdrawal deal. Did you understand what he meant by that? Because initially I took that to mean that's exactly what he's talking about, what happens at the end.
There are two parts to the deal, and I'm going to kind of describe it in non-technical terms and probably will get told off for doing so. But one part of it is the divorce settlement. You know, where this marriage between the UK and the EU institution is going to break up. And you know when there's a divorce, there has to be a settlement. So there's a question of how much do we pay into the European Union for all the ongoing costs that maybe they have incurred as a result of our membership after we've left. So that's one part of the deal. Let's call that part A. Part B is the trade deal that we do with them after we've left. Because of course they're not going to allow us to trade on the same terms and have all the same benefits that we have whilst being a member once we have left. And it's that thing that is really exercising colleagues, and I just, you know, in my own exchange with the minister just now, have brought up, well, if you don't do a deal and you're just going to flip onto trading on World Trade Organization rules, that in itself is a decision. And that's something that Parliament should be consulted on. Let's not forget...
And you don't think they've given way on that?
I don't think they have, no. And let's not forget, this isn't about relitigating the EU referendum debate that your viewers would have probably got fed up hearing about in the lead into the 23rd of June. This is about reasserting parliamentary sovereignty and ensuring that Parliament isn't just a spectator in this process, but that we actually have a role. But of course, I mean, this is the first part of the debate today. The second part of the debate is looking at the impact, which we'll be having from 5 o'clock this afternoon, of an EU exit, what the impact will be on the public finances. And people will remember that pledge on that big red bus that the Vote Leave cabinet ministers like Boris Johnson were telling you that if we leave the European Union, £350 million extra per week will go into the NHS. That is going to be debated today. It's been ruled in scope by the Speaker, and hopefully we'll have a vote on it. And your viewers will be able to see whether those who promised all that money to the NHS will make good on their promise or whether they will betray you.
Chuka Umunna, thank you very much indeed. So now we will have to see with this vote. Labour MPs clearly still not happy by what the government has said, what Conservative MPs make of it. The vote will come just after 6 o'clock.
Vicky, thank you very much.